You know what really, really, really makes me angry? I went to see Bruce Springsteen for the 5th time on Broadway. Not 5 times on Broadway, but for the 5th time he was on Broadway. And Michael Douglas and his beautiful wife,
Catherine Zeta-Jones,
and Jeremy Irons was there. And I didn't have the wherewithal to take a selfie with him. And it really just, I'm hoping the next time I'm going to. I did with Bobby De Niro.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you. Where was it? Now you are about to really get to know Henry Winkler. He talks about actor crushes, fan mail, and a lot more. After this, you will really feel like you know Henry Winkler. If you want to tap that like button, amazing, and put a comment below about what you love about Henry. Oh, they're so cute.
The brown one is 1.5 years, and little Maisie is 14 weeks old. Look at her legs.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I can't even handle it. So they love each other?
Do you know what? I am so lucky because they could not. They're not from the same litter. And they could not get along, you know?
Totally. Because you don't know, but they do automatically.
The big one just looks to see where the little one is. Oh my God.
So it's like the big one is the maternal or paternal one. So cute. So my son and I decided we were going to replicate that video. My son is 11, but he's my youngest. But
he's perfect age.
Yeah.
For Alien Superstar.
Well, yeah. So we haven't gotten it yet, but we are going to get it next. He's read the Hank books, of course.
What's his name?
Charlie.
Charlie.
Yeah.
And how old are the others?
19. Our daughter is 19.
If you told me that you had a child who was 8, I would totally be with you.
Okay. Can we? Yeah.
Okay. So she is
19.
19. And then is there another one?
Yeah. There's another son.
And how old is he?
16. He'll be 17 next week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Me too. I'm going to be 74 October 30th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So 74,
yeah. You
look good, you feel good.
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
I do.
So much.
Yeah.
All right, so the podcast, you're going to do it later when you're relaxing to talk about more. We can get, because I'm really all about depth.
Okay.
Not quick.
Okay.
Questions and answers. So I can't wait for that.
What is the overlying theme of your podcast?
It's called Really Famous. It's famous people who I have on as guests, but I like the real person.
Do you talk to famous people?
Yes.
Who? Like who?
Your friend Marion Ross was on the show recently.
Yeah.
So Marion.
She's great.
Name them. Chaz Palminteri. Let's see.
Oh, he's famous.
Danny Aiello was just on.
Very famous.
I
good
always
actors.
forget.
You have good actors.
They're mostly actors. Christopher Knight from the Brady Bunch. Alan Cumming, Jessica Hecht. I don't know if you know all of them, but like, you know, good people. Tony Goldwyn.
Tony, I just saw him on Broadway.
In Network? Same. It was so good.
So good. Well, he's so good in everything.
I know. Bryan Cranston was so good. It was interesting. You know what I discovered? No, go.
Nope.
Oh, all right. I'll tell you what I discovered. Was that when I was watching Bryan Cranston on camera on stage, it was so interesting to me because when you would catch it on the big screen, you could really see something else.
Yes.
That the camera
Except that I
picks up.
thought it was insane that he forced theater goers to see a lot of the show on screen.
Okay.
And that's why you watch TV. You go to theater to see the actor and not be separated by the cool medium.
Got
which cools it down.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I thought that was a little crazy. And then you don't go to the theater to see a whole bunch of people actually having dinner on the stage.
Right, which they did.
Right.
That was a little distracting.
So that was like dinner theater. I mean, what's the point?
Right.
There would be they would not be anywhere in the reality of that play, except that they sold more money.
Yeah, was that the point of it?
I think so.
Because the people would pay extra to be up on stage.
The tickets were more expensive.
But also, that would be so awkward. I don't think I would want to be in one of those seats.
No.
Right?
Then people are watching you have a spaghetti.
Exactly. A little weird.
Yeah. Oh.
Let's start off with your book. So, all right. So I'm getting a copy of the book, and I'm really excited because my 11-year-old is going to love it too.
Okay.
So you're on a book tour now.
Yes.
You're in New York.
This is our first day of the book tour, and the book is about a young alien, lives on the red dwarf planet. His real name is Zeta 5866. You could call him 66 if you want. And his grandmother, Grandma Wrinkle, wants to free him because it's a repressive planet. And at 13, they cut off his ability to enjoy culture, sound, taste, color. And he just is like a zombie, so that he causes no problem for the regime.
Oh, okay.
She builds the spaceship because she is the master mechanic for the starship fleet on that planet.
Okay.
He takes off just in the nick of time and travels through space, passes Saturn with its beautiful brown and pink rings, and lands on the only address that he and Grandma Wrinkle know on Earth, the backlot of Universal Studios. And I don't know how this happened, but he becomes the star of a sitcom on Universal, starring a young woman who is biracial, a musician. It's a hit show. He gets a part as an alien. And it is, we thought, children love aliens, and the concept of stardom, of the red carpet, of what is it to work in Hollywood. Everybody dreams now, because of the internet and the glossy magazines and television, about Hollywood. Lynn has produced TV. She worked at Universal for 11 years producing shows.
Like what shows?
Harry and the Hendersons, for one.
Oh, okay.
She wrote. I have produced and acted.
Boom.
We put it together, and so it is a stranger in a strange land. And his innocence discovers the good and the bad of working in Hollywood.
So there is good and there is bad.
Oh yeah.
And you know it.
Well, I've seen it all.
Yeah, I guess you have seen it all, and it's so, I mean, so different. I guess what you see now is probably different from what it was then, right?
The only difference between
I'm
Hollywood
talking about like
now,
Barry time and
I know
Happy
what
Days
you
time.
mean.
Okay.
The difference between Happy Days and Barry is only one: technology. How to make television? You still need talented people. You need a great script. You need to record it. And it is where you show it that is so different. Little did I ever imagine when I first started Happy Days, I would be... oh, hi. Little did I know that I would be watching TV on my phone.
Right. Right.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. And so many people, especially young people too. So like a lot of the kids who are going to be reading your book.
Everybody on the plane.
Yeah. And even with the screens, the movie screens on the back of the seats, people are still pulling out their phones.
Absolutely.
And their iPads
because they're watching their own content.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
You know, content that they've chosen.
So people haven't changed at all in Hollywood, do you think?
The people have not changed. I will tell you the one thing that I see a little bit different. The young stars don't yet understand, or a lot of them don't, that there are two halves to the making of the show, the movie, the podcast, the stream. You have to make it, and you have to sell it.
Oh, yes.
People have to know it exists because there is so much to watch. You must go out and you must, as hard as it is, beat the bushes.
Yeah, because I don't think that at all was the case then. Like, you could be a TV star, you could be the Fonz, right? And then whoever was marketing it then would market it, and there were only those channels. You were on ABC, right?
On the weekends, we would leave Hollywood. We would fly to Wanamaker's in Philadelphia. We would appear. We would fly to Dallas and go to Neiman Marcus. 25,000 people came. You went to Philadelphia, you did the Mike Douglas show, or the Merv Griffin show, the Tonight Show. You did it exactly the same way.
Yeah. So now it's different. You have to get out there. You have to do it.
Have to do it.
So how is, like, for example, you are on a media tour for the book, but you have to do it for Barry too, right? You have to do it for all of the projects. Yes. So I know while you're here, you were on the Today Show already.
Right.
You're going to be on Jimmy Fallon,
yes,
right? And you're also going to do these book signings where you present.
Well, that is a lot of fun. My partner Lynn Oliver and I have a PowerPoint. And we have a story to tell. And we start from when I was 4. I found a picture, because I always say that I wanted to be an actor since I was 7. We found a picture of me when I was 7 as Dopey, one of the dwarfs.
Cute.
And then tell the story of how we came together, how we have decided to write this book, and the telling of the book. And then I read from the book. Okay,
so question for you personally.
Okay.
You seem like you're an extrovert.
I am an extrovert when I need to be. I am an extrovert, and my extrovertness is on call.
Okay, so on the other times...
I have speed dial.
Okay, so it comes quickly. You don't have to really muster it up. But the other times...
I can be very, very quiet.
Like when? Like, what do you do when is it?
I'm home.
What do you do at home?
I watch TV. I love television. I test everything. We go to the movies. We play with our grandchildren. We take them to dinner. We have family dinners.
But there are people again here. These are people things.
But they are family things where I'm not required to be an entertainer.
So you're not on.
I am Papa.
Yeah.
Or I'm Dad. Or I'm Henry.
So it's not so much that you need the alone time to recharge.
Well, I do take alone time.
Okay.
In my own house. I sit in the backyard. I play ball with the puppies. Sadie, who is the older, she's a year and a half, will play ball with you for 24 hours a day. Maisie, who is 13 months old, runs 6 or 7 steps and then lies down on the grass.
They do what they want to do.
They do what
they
want to do.
They don't care what you want them to do.
No.
I have a Labrador Retriever.
Okay.
She will go chase a stick.
Right.
She's not that into a ball.
Okay.
So sometimes she'll play, but then she'll be done.
Well, we had a King Charles Cavalier who I would throw the ball and he would... That was it?
Yeah. So do you get recognized when you're out? Not at a thing like this. Always, right? All the time. You are so recognizable.
I am. But for every different thing. It depends on the age. For books, some children know me only as a reader. Mm-hmm. Now, 25-year-olds know me because they read the books. Happy Days, Scream. I mean, these are things that people will say. Waterboy, Arrested Development, Parks and Rec. The travel show I did with Terry Bradshaw and Bill Shatner and George Foreman, Better Late Than Never, and now Barry.
So it's their age and probably where they are, right? Like what part of the country maybe too, or no?
No, television is universal.
Age. Oh wait, so let's back up a second. You said something was interesting to me. You're into TV. You watch it.
I love it.
What are your favorites?
Let's see. We love Succession. There is a Spanish show called Money Heist.
Oh, I just started.
If you
that.
haven't seen Money Heist, make sure you have time because you will not watch just one.
That's on Netflix,
They're
and
like
I think I
a
watched
potato
3.
chip.
Yeah. I have more shows like that for you if you're into, if you don't mind subtitles.
I don't mind subtitles. Then Fauda. Oh, unbelievable. And then I love America's Got Talent.
Oh, that's so you have diverse interests.
Oh, yes.
Gomorrah.
Gomorrah.
You've
Fabulous.
seen it? It's like my favorite.
Every episode.
El Marginal is another one. It's a prison movie, though. It's a little rough.
Yeah.
But it's that same kind of thing.
Right.
There's a lot of things going on, a lot of suspense.
Absolutely.
It's quite a story, and there are
Yes.
interesting characters within.
Yes.
Okay, so you also like competition shows.
I like competition, but I like talent.
Talent only.
I
okay.
am overwhelmed by talent. There is a young man who sang on America's Got Talent. His name is Benicio Bryant. He is extraordinary. 14.
Okay.
Extraordinary.
Is this current?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right, good. Okay, so it'll be interesting to watch that. So, okay, so you do get recognized. You seem to
I get
me,
recognized all over the earth.
You can't. You don't try to hide it, or
No.
do you? And you no, I didn't
I'm
think you did.
74, and I'm not about to hide it.
So you,
I go, and people are unbelievably warm.
they adore you.
I don't know if they adore me. All I know is they are unbelievably warm. People are incredibly generous with their warmth to me.
So you just get good vibes.
I get really good vibes.
What about when somebody tries to take a picture of you?
Well, it used to be, oh, I forgot my camera. I wish I could take a picture with you. Well, I'm really sorry. It was a pleasure to meet you. Now, let's take a selfie. Now you can't get away from it. Or they would say, hey, you know what? Stay right there. I've run out of film. This is when you had to put film in your camera. I'll be right. I'm just going to buy some film. Go, you know what? I don't think I'm going to wait here, but gosh, thank you so much for inviting me to do that.
Go buy some film. Get out of here. Are you serious? That's so funny.
Yeah.
And then do they try to like sneak it when you're not looking and you know that
so
you're
many
being...
people. You know what? I don't even think. My wife says that guy over there is trying to take a picture.
Yeah.
Of me. What am I going to do?
Right. But I would imagine it's kind of hard too because you're always being watched at that point.
But I don't think about that. I am not completely aware of that.
Okay.
You know, because I do a lot of watching myself.
You're an observer, which I
I'm
think
an
a lot of
observer.
actors are,
Yeah.
right? So you like
And
to
I
see...
love seeing famous people.
Like?
You know what really, really, really makes me angry? I went to see Bruce Springsteen for the 5th time on Broadway. Not 5 times on Broadway, but for the 5th time he was on Broadway. And Michael Douglas and his beautiful wife
Catherine
was there.
Zeta-Jones.
And Jeremy Irons was there. And I didn't have the wherewithal to take a selfie with him. And it really just, I'm hoping the next time I'm going to. I did with Bobby De Niro.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you. Where was this?
He reminded me. Now, tell me about feeling good. I met Robert De Niro at a premiere of his film that Nancy Meyershire directed. It was called The Intern.
Oh, I love that movie.
And I went up and I said, look, I'm so sorry, I have to do this. I met him for the first time and waved with Ron Howard walking down the street on Paramount Lot when he was shooting Godfather 2. They used the mill, the place where they build the sets, the actual carpentry shop, that shop.
Yeah, where they build
used
things.
it for a set, and we walked by and we said, we have to say hello, we have to say hello. Okay. But I told him, because the first movie I saw in Hollywood at a premiere when I first arrived was Mean Streets with Martin Scorsese directed, and Bobby De Niro. And I said, you use the word fuck better than any human being on the earth. 40 years later, when I went to take the selfie, he said, you know, you said to me, I say fuck better than anybody. I said, I remember it, and I did, and it blows my mind that you remember that.
That's awesome. And if you didn't go up to him, you would have never known. If you didn't have that take that selfie with him, you would have never known.
I would have never known.
That he, all those years.
Oh my God.
But you're right about that. In Mean Streets, I saw Mean Streets for the first time ever, maybe a month ago. Fact. Because it came onto Netflix or something, and I was like, oh, Mean Streets, I missed that one somehow. And I saw it, you know, in Keitel and him, and you're right. It's something about the way he says that.
It's amazing.
It is.
He's
he nailed
amazing.
it, and he remembered it. So you get starstruck sometimes.
I do. I get very starstruck, mainly with music stars. I went into our Whole Foods, and a woman walked up to me, because I tweet about her all the time, and said, I'm Sia. I went, oh my God. And I mean, because not only that, but I've only seen her wearing a wig in front of her face.
So
I've
you
never seen her
recognize
face.
her.
And it was just amazing.
So yeah, that's amazing. So people come up to you, and some of them are probably feeling like, I can't go up to him.
I don't know about that. All I know is I get excited to meet people that I like.
Yeah, yeah, and it's good that you're a fan too. You've been watching TV and you go out to movies all these years. So
like
that
we watch a Snowfall, which is on FX.
Yeah.
And I wrote the star, Damson. I wrote him a fan letter, and he got it in South Africa, where he's making a movie, and he emailed me back.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't he email you back?
I wrote Jeff Daniels when I saw him on Newsroom. Wrote me back.
See, I have to say also that a lot of people, even if they observe something they like about someone, or they see someone doing something, whether it's a famous person or somebody in their life, and it's meaningful and they like it and they're moved by it, they don't always say it or go out of their way to let that other person know. But most people don't. It doesn't mean that they're not thinking it, but I think few people hear from people who are impacted.
But my thinking it, look, you cannot act for or by yourself. It really is communal. It is mainly in a theater, that's where it was born. That theater is filled, and the compression between the human beings and you make an explosion of energy in that space. When you are moved, I think it is mandatory that you let those people know that they were great. I wrote a letter to Patricia Arquette.
Escape at Dannemora. That's
I wrote a letter to Sam Rockwell, because I thought he became Fosse. Yeah, just
So what do you do? Do you actually write a physical letter? Do you email?
I write a physical letter, but because I can't spell, I write some of the letter and I type it, because then my brain doesn't have spell check. You know, if I make a mistake, I don't auto-correct.
So how do you get the spellings then at that? So we're talking about it. So it's dyslexia at work here.
I have to yell at my assistant.
Okay. How do you spell?
How do you spell schedule?
Right. You know, there's something now called Google Voice typing. So you can actually say what you want to type, and it'll pick up most of it.
On my phone, people send me like voice messages when they didn't get the phone, didn't pick up.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they're saying.
Right, because it transcribes it poorly.
Yeah.
Right,
so.
and then you have to go in. But I'm just saying this because my son uses it in school. They let him do the voice. Exactly, Charlie uses it, and it's been so helpful.
Well, tell Charlie I need it. And I'll tell you how great the Fonz is. You want to know?
Yeah.
He read Alien Superstar, and let me know that he thought it was funny and charming. I got my first fan letter from Alien Superstar. I sent it to a little boy who I know his father, and he wrote me back. He said, you know, I've read a lot of alien stories. Your alien is warm and funny. He's not scary and mean. I thought, How is that the greatest?
Totally.
Yeah.
So you made him human, and right, why do aliens have to be?
Well, now, let me tell you something. In real life, I am convinced that an alien will land somewhere in my vicinity, and they will be friendly.
Okay.
But since I was a little boy, I believe that.
E.T. friendly, right?
Hello, one of the best.
Okay. So one last question. What has writing books done for you personally in your life?
Okay. First of all, it taught me that anything is possible. I didn't read a book until I was 31, let alone write a book. It brings me pleasure. I work with Lynn Oliver. She sits at the computer. I sit on the other side of her desk. When I come into her office, I have no idea what we're going to write. Excuse me. I have no idea what I'm going to write. And some of it, we make up right then and there, right, as we're writing. And when I leave, there was nothing when I started. There are 6 or 7 pages that never existed before. I'm proud. And the children write us and say, how did you know me so well? Mm-hmm. Because we don't write down to the children, that makes me happy. So I'm astounded, I'm proud, I'm happy, and I'm doing something that never occurred to me in my whole life.
So glad that you took that path, that side path, on behalf of everybody.
It was like,
yeah.
You know, I started writing because it was a time filler, mm-hmm. because there was a lull in my career. Who knew there would be a lull in my career?
Yes, Henry Winkler, you guys. So if you liked this talk, I think you'll love my chat with Marion Ross, who of course played Mrs. Cunningham on Happy Days. I put a link right up here. You can just click on that card, or in the description below, I put a link there too. Don't forget to tap that like button and drop a comment about what you liked about my talk with Henry. I would love to know. I read the comments, so let's be in touch.